Well, it hasn't even been 2 weeks. I got another one, and this one's maybe in better shape. I have a little bit of a trigger finger when it comes to asking for good deals, and this is where my trigger finger got me. Now the question is this a good deal? So this is a 1977 model with the cat engine in it. No, it's got the Kohler K341 gasoline engine in it. Okay, there's the tag. It's a K341AQS. It has the replacement 48-inch mower deck, which is quite sought after when it comes to cut quality. And I mean, this thing is just in gorgeous shape. If that is the original paint, this thing is in gorgeous shape. It looks like somebody repainted it, which, mind you, this is before I even blown it off or washed it yet. I might do that here in a minute, but yeah, I mean, just taking it in for a second, but this thing is in really good shape. So anyways, let's get this thing cleaned off and start working on it. All right, the next step is we're gonna go ahead and check the vitals here. Actually, now it smells like gas. Other than it smelling like gas, that is not bad oil. I'm actually kind of impressed. That's not terrible. I might run that for, you know, if it'll fire over and that's it, but I might actually run that and not change it straight away. And then back here should be what was a sight glass, which is now gone. Yippee. Okay, so I replaced the battery that was in. It's on the charger right now. I've got one out of the other 316 I just parted out here recently. We're going to see what happens, if it'll even crank it over. Okay, so now we get to have the fun pleasure of seeing if this thing has any spark. Well, it doesn't look too bad. Oh yeah, we got good spark. I barely even tapped the key. It was kicking over, sparking. Okay, let's go ahead and take the air filter off because I saw some stuff flying around. Oh yeah. Good news is I'm gonna have a spare filter. Oh, yeah, that's toast. And even then, it needed replaced because look how sucked in all these fins are in here. These should be perfectly straight up and down and clear. So yeah, that's junk. Okay, so I went ahead and pulled the carburetor off. I'm gonna try to crack it apart without ruining gaskets if I can, which the only other gasket's right in here. And I probably won't get that lucky, but I'm gonna try it anyways. All right, so I'm gonna give her a little squirt in the throat, gas, and we'll see if she coughs over. Yes! No smoke, nothing. This thing is a freaking runner, guys. That was by far the cleanest running Kohler I've ever gotten, especially after it's sitting for 15 years. Not a lick of smoke anywhere. Now we got to turn our attention back here and figure out why there's no fluid in it. Went through and did a couple things. I took the tank off and cleaned out the inside of it because it had a bunch of spider webs and whatnot in there. So I cleaned that out, filled it up with fresh gas, made sure the line was good. It starts and runs on its own now. I mean, the motor mounts are gone, but other than that, it works. I'm just trying to get the rear end to take fluid because this thing, after I put the sight glass on, it's saying it's like, I don't know, 2-3 inches down from the full mark on the sight glass, and it won't take any more fluid at all. I want a truth to see if it runs and drives off the trailer. So I put the fuel pump that was on the 212 on this one, which sadly it's a plastic body instead of a metal one, but you know what, it still works the same as long as it doesn't leak. But yeah, it runs good now. Well, this just went from good to bad, as you can see down there. I was running around a good bit, trying to make sure it was full of fluid, filling it up. Came back here, parked it. Was wondering why the hydraulic... I should have figured this one out when I started hearing noises from it. But the charge pump started chattering, got real loud. I was like, okay, what the hell's going on? Checked the fluid again, and guess what? It's low. So I brought it over here, parked it on the concrete that's pretty flat, took off that fill cap there, and what do you know, all this just watery, milky hydraulic substance came out. I think the old condom gave way, if you get what I'm saying. Don't do what I do, folks. Check your fluids. Especially if it's been sitting for 15 years, change them. Well, I finally gave her the old power wash treatment, and I'll say it definitely came back pretty nicely. Other than the fact the paint's chipping right there and there, and on the other side, this thing looks really good. That's some nasty stuff, guys. I don't know why that didn't show its head earlier, but it just... I never even knew that was in there. Wasn't on the sight glass or anything. So this is just a change in the engine oil here. Of course, there's not really a spout or a quick disconnect plug here. It's just a pipe wrench plug. And that's it. Which, there's the previous crap that was in the transmission. I've already flushed that twice with a new filter, so we'll see how that turns out. Youch, that is black. I'll put 2 new quarts of 30 weight Rotella tea in it. And we'll go from there. I took my tire to the local tire shop, and it's probably a good thing because I sat in there for about 20 minutes. He came out and told me that the bead was pretty well glued to the side of the wheel on that thing, so he was going to have to take a little more time to get it off. So probably a good thing I didn't try to tackle it. Of course, I guess that's what happens when you don't have water in your oil. Okay, this is our finished product. Well, minus the grill not being in. Sitting for 15 years, and it runs and drives pretty good, actually. So, let's go do a little bit of a test strip, eh? I gotta tell you, so far I'm actually kind of impressed. I wasn't really all too keen on the idea of a 314, 300, 317, whatever you want to call it, but I don't mind driving it. It's actually not bad. I kind of like this almost a little better than my 316. Not as powerful, of course, but it's pretty close. See how straight I can get it with a little bit of steering play it has. See, it cuts pretty good. You need 2 hands for sure, but yeah, I wasn't very straight, but that's because I looked away for a little bit, so let's see if I can't straighten it out a little bit. I'm impressed with this mower deck. The blades are okay at best, and it's still cutting really well, so A poor performing 48 apparently is better than a 50 that's at its best, so that's gotta say something. I'd say it did a pretty good job. How about you? Well, anyways, guys, if you want to see more like this, stick around. I got more to come. Thanks for watching.